Fuck, what's going on? It's Horse Beef here. And we have another upload after yesterday's big upload on KSI. It seems like my channel definitely grew quite a bit off the back of that video. So all the new viewers, I appreciate you guys for watching. I don't know if you guys are into MMA content or if you subscribed to see me shit on some more YouTubers, but ultimately the point of this channel is to speak about MMA. That is the main point, although I'll diverge from that every now and then if the moment calls for it. But today I'm going to be giving you guys my picks and somewhat comprehensive breakdown of each fight, mostly just working our way up to the main event, which is really one of the only fights on this card that's standing out to me, at least. But let's get into the card opener of Tim Means and Court McGee. I don't actually mind this fight. Both men are veterans of the sport. They've been around for so long. I swear like both have been in the UFC for 10 plus years. I swear they've been around for so long. But I'm picking Tim Means here. I think he has the advantage on the feet, and I think that will make the difference. I'm just going to pick Tim Means by unanimous decision. I just don't think Court McGee is very good, but all respect to him because he's been in the sport for so damn long. And, you know, he's just been kicking along, man. I'm surprised he's still in the UFC, in all honesty. But then we get into Carla Esparza versus Tisha Pennington, formerly Tisha Torres, I believe. I don't even know how to pick this one, to be honest. I don't rate Carla Esparza one bit. I don't even know, man. I'm just going to go with Tisha Pennington. I think she'll win a decision here, but it won't surprise me if Carla Esparza lays and prays to victory. But the final early prelim here, we have Ryan Spann versus Ovince St. Preux. And I think St. Preux's in his 40s now. I think he's like 41 years old. Ryan Spann I just see as the clear favorite here. Better hands, better striking in general. I think he'll get it done. I'm going to say first round TKO for Ryan Spann. Now let's move up a little bit. We have the prelims to get to now. Ihor Pretoria, I don't know if that's how you say it. Anyone who understands how to say his name, please let me know, because I'm always confused on how to pronounce his last name, versus Cesar Almeida. I'm honestly not very familiar with Cesar Almeida, but he has 6 fights and he's in the UFC. He's like 36 years old. You would think that he'd be some kind of upcoming prospect with that record, but he's 36, so clearly he's not a prospect. I think he's just being fed to Ihor, so I'm just going to pick him. I think second round TKO, even though I don't really rate Ihor Poirier. Is that how you say it? I don't know, man. You guys need to let me know, please. And then we get into Marina Rodriguez versus Yasmin Lucinda, and I don't know who to pick here either, man. Like with these women's fights, you never really know. I kind of rate Marina Rodriguez. I think she's one of the better strikers in any women's division. I do rate her in that regard. Yasmin Lucinda is pretty good as well. She's 22, very, very young. So I feel like logically it makes sense to pick the short, stocky Brazilian, since the short, stocky Brazilian beat Marina in the last one. I think her versus Andrade at UFC 300 was Marina's last fight. Maybe that's a sign of her deteriorating. I'm going to go Yasmin Lucindo by decision. I'm going to just say decision. And then we get the headliner of the prelims. I think this fight should have probably displaced Kevin Holland versus whoever the fuck he's fighting. Honestly, I forget, but we'll get to it soon and I can jog my memory. Oh, Roman Dolidze. Yes, that fight sucks. This one should have been on the main card. I don't really understand it. But yeah, Stephen Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. I feel like the logical pick here is Buckley, right? He's the younger guy. He's up and coming. Wonderboy's 40. But did he look like a 40-year-old man against Kevin Holland? God, no. He looked amazing. Looked like one of the best versions of himself. But at the same time, Kevin Holland's kind of crappy. I don't know. I don't rate Kevin Holland's skill set. I feel like he just kind of declined recently. Maybe he just fought too much, overtrained. Maybe I don't really understand. But he seems to have declined in his actual skills. But seriously, Wonderboy Thompson beat the shit out of him. And Joaquin Buckley has been on the uptrend. He's looked improved in the striking, in the grappling. He's just looked pretty good, in all honesty. And I think his path to victory here is in the grappling, overpowering Steve Wonderboy Thompson, because on the feet, I think he has all the tools to piece up Joaquin Buckley, especially in a 3-round fight. I think he can get ahead of steam going in the first round, really pick apart Joaquin Buckley at range. I don't know if he has the power to finish Buckley, but Buckley has shown himself to be a little bit chinny in the past. And this pick may be based not off logic, but off of emotions. I'm going to go with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I know it's not the logical pick, but I'm still picking him, and I'm going to say decision as well. I just don't think he has the stopping power these days, but if he was to finish Joaquin Buckley, I wouldn't even be that surprised because, as I said, Joaquin has shown the ability to be chinned, right? He's a bit of a glass cannon in that regard. So yeah, I'm going to go with Wonderboy Thompson by decision. And then we get into the main card here. Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. Now, this is a tough one to pick because I don't rate either fighter. Dolidze is super sloppy on the feet, slow as all hell. I don't know if I've seen a slower fighter on the feet. So I think on the feet is where Kevin Holland has a major advantage because I just don't rate Dolidze. Striking, I don't rate Kevin Holland's either from a technical standpoint, but it can still be effective, right? He has those long arms, those long muscle insertions, and that can oftentimes lend itself to a bit of a sneaky power in the hands, and Kevin Holland has shown that at points in his career. Even against Wonderboy, he was able to sting him on a couple of occasions, and I think he can do that against Dolidze, but I think the main difference maker here will be on the ground, and I do think that Roman Dolidze will tie up Kevin Holland and submit him. I'm going to say second round submission for Roman Dolidze. Kayla Harrison versus Ketlin Vieira. Is this one even worth talking about, man? Kayla Harrison is probably going to take down Ketlin Vieira and submit her. I'm going to say first round. Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista, man. One of my favorite fighters of all time in Jose Aldo. One of the all-time greats. He got it done against Jonathan Martinez. Looked great in that fight, but the question is, can he do it again against Mario Batista? I think he can, dude. I really think he can. I just think Jose Aldo's that good. I don't care how old he gets. He hasn't really shown those signs of decline. Like, to my surprise, right? Because every single time that Jose Aldo gets beat up bad, he seems to come back and look like a rejuvenated version of himself, right? He got beat up multiple times by Max Holloway, comes back to look pretty good, goes down in weight, and then seems to be just cleaning out the division, of course, other than Peter Yan, who was always going to beat him up. But two of my favorite fighters going at it is just a terrible thing to watch, and I hate that fight, to be honest with you guys. But Jose Aldo, I think, will get this one done. I'm not too sure if he can finish Batista, but I do think that Aldo is just so damn good. His hands have only been getting better. I think he's going to dig lots of left hooks to the body and maybe cause Mario Batista to fade. I can honestly see a mid-round 2 finish for Jose Aldo. He's just that good, dude. I hope he goes to the leg kicks as well. But if we see the more boxing-focused version of Jose Aldo, I can still see him getting it done. I'm going to say decision, but I can also see a second-round TKO. And then we have this fight. Does anyone care about it? I can't think of anyone who actually does. I mean, Juliana Pena versus Raquel Pennington. Who do you even pick in this one? Honestly, I mean, Raquel Pennington, I think, has the advantage on the feet. She probably has better boxing from a technical standpoint. And Juliana Pena, as we saw against Amanda Nunes in their second go, cannot strike for shit. But you would think that she does have the advantage on the ground. I honestly don't know who to pick here. I'm going to go, just because I think Raquel Pennington sucks, I'm going to pick Juliana Pena. And I'm going to say submission, but at the same time, the more I think about it, the more it actually makes sense to pick Pennington by decision. I don't think either lady finishes one another. Nah, you know what? I'm going for Pennington. I think she'll win this one by decision. I believe this fight's at altitude, and she trains at altitude or lives at that similar altitude. And Pena hasn't fought in 2 years since she got brutally dismantled and beat up by Amanda Nunes. So for me, it makes all the sense in the world, actually, the more I think about it, to pick Pennington. I think she has a better, well-rounded skill set, trains at altitude, lives at altitude, and will win this by decision. I think Pena is just too tough, and that's the most credit that I can give to her. And let's speak no more about this fight because no one really gives a shit at the end of the day. And then we get into the main event of Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree, one of the weirder main events that the UFC's put together in recent memory. I don't know how someone like Khalil Rountree is testing positive. I know it was, I believe, found to be tainted supplements. So if that's the case, then I guess there's a bit more of a case to give Khalil the title shot. But even then, what was his last win? Anthony Smith? Everyone's beaten Anthony Smith at this point, right? But sure, we have a fun matchup on paper. Two really great strikers, probably two of the best strikers at 205. I mean, arguably the two very best strikers at 205. And a lot of people are writing off Khalil Rountree here. And I will say for good reason. Because on paper, Khalil loads up on everything he throws. There's no real reason to think he can beat Alex Pereira, but someone like Khalil always has a puncher's chance. I don't think his kicks will play much of a role here. I think Alex will check a good majority of the leg kicks. So Khalil, I think a lot of the work he has to do here is with his hands, and he has to land a big shot. So because he does have a puncher's chance here, but Alex Pereira is so big and so good that if Khalil Rountree ends up loading up on like a big right hand and overswings it, or a big left hand at a southpaw and overswings it, I see Alex Pereira chinning him. I really do. It's the most likely result I see happening in this fight. I think Khalil Rountree's best chance is pressuring Alex Pereira, getting him up against the fence and landing shots there, because I think in the middle of the octagon, Khalil will have a really, really tough time landing strikes of his own. So I think for the most part, Alex Pereira will have success on the feet, and he'll probably get it done, I'm going to say, in the second round, I think. Of course, if Khalil Rountree ends up coming out and beating on Alex Pereira and getting that upset win, would I be surprised? Yes. Would I be happy? Not necessarily, but Khalil Rountree does seem like a pretty genuine dude. So seeing him win a world title wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, to be honest with you guys. But I am picking Alex Pereira, and I am pretty confident in that one. Honestly, he is a favorite here. He should be a very heavy favorite. I haven't looked at the betting odds because I don't bet on fights generally, but he should be a heavy betting favorite because this fight only makes sense for Alex Pereira to win it. But then again, don't write off Khalil Rountree because, as I said, the man is a powerhouse and has a puncher's chance at any point in this fight. But yeah, once again, Alex Pereira by second round KO. But those are my thoughts on the upcoming card. Just wanted to make a quick video for you guys to cover some real MMA content, because after all, I am Horse Beef MMA. All right, so we're getting back into the MMA swing of things, and you can look forward to another MMA-based video coming very soon. So anyway, guys, as always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.